Hey everyone, my name is chaoticwolph and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim. So we are on to volume 17. These Friendsims are really wrapping up, so let's see which two weirdos we're going to befriend this time. Volume 17 of Teen and Tech, a Cerebic. Of Teen and Tech, you say? Well, there's certainly a lot of teens in here, that's for sure. Yes. This is it, fellas. Another night of laughter and camaraderie. Another night of joy and communion with some totally normal teens who would never... Haha, just kidding, idiot. You are still on Alternian. What's going on? Is my character having an existential crisis? I mean, they're having one like every day, quite frankly, so nothing new. You just know one of these miserable chuckle fucks is around here somewhere, waiting for the exact right moment to inundate you with another disgusting dose of friendship. Are you getting friendship fatigue? I think you are. Who is going to be the author of your destruction on this accursed evening? Who indeed? Is it going to be Daraya Jonjet, weird name, or Nikki or Nike? Moolah. Their name is literally Moolah, really. Alright, but we're going to go with Daria first, who looks way too much of a rebellious teen. Your feet drag as you walk, every limb heavy and slow, and your thoughts are cloudy and dull. Your palm husk is filled with unanswered texts. Seriously, are you getting friendship fatigue? You feel guilty about this, in the back of your mind, where real feelings live crammed together, because the front of your mind is too busy being lethargic and numb. Being a bad friend goes against the core tenets of your beliefs, but answering texts just seem like too much effort. You're not sure where this particular malaise came from, just that the usual friend-making animus that drives you is still there, but it doesn't feel strong enough to overcome how tired you are of everything else. You can't quite remember how it felt to care that much about companionship and camaraderie. In fact, right now you can't remember how it felt to care about much of anything. Your thoughts drift to fantasies of driving your car into the uninhabited Alternian desert until you run out of fuel, and perhaps letting the sun have its way with you. Seriously, what's going on? Depression? It could be part of that feeling that you've almost made all the friends there are to make, another fourth wall break, and that there's little left for you to do on this planet. It could be weeks of trauma catching up and sinking you into depression to protect you from thinking about it all. Either way, it just feels like there's so much effort to do anything, and you sort of welcome oblivion if it showed up right now to offer its sweet embrace. Your listless walking has taken you into a familiar neighborhood. The cerulean part of town. You smile as you reminisce. Sweet memories peeking through like beams of sunlight through the fog of your apathy. Not far from here is Malik's hive, with all this hacking equipment and charming upper middle class atmosphere of entitlement and complacence mixed with vaguely socially aware concern. Seriously, being kind of a dick here, my character. And though you've only seen pictures of it on Chitter, you know that Remilly's hipster art studio / hive is also in the neighborhood. And one block over is Ardana's place, which gave you your gruesome and troubling introduction to Alternian social mores. One tell you love, one tell you patience, one tell you pain. This is a freaking meme. Or something like that. Something like that indeed. The hive you're closest to is actually outwards, and as you shamble closer, you realize that a lot of other troves seem to be converging here too. Fishing out your palm house, you see that the unread message from Elward is an invitation to a party at her place. Party time! Looking around you, you feel a flame of your old desire to meet and greet rekindling in your heart. There are plenty of trolls here you haven't met yet. Plenty of opportunities for friendship. The now roaring fire in your belly feels a little artificial, like someone just injected you with friend-making hormones, and maybe they did, to flood out your regular human melancholy, but you're not going to complain, because this is vastly preferable. As you're walking briskly towards Elward's hive, you spot a troll lurking in the shadows by Elward's back door. Curious, you approach, and when you get closer, you can spot the jade green in her outfit. Although, there's not much of her blood color in comparison to what most other trolls seem to sport, because she's mostly wearing black, and spikes, and black spikes. Ugh, it's you. Why does everyone know me? Guess it makes sense you be here. You're probably friends with Elward, huh? Whatever. Yeah, you're friends with Elward, but you didn't come here for the party. You're just in the neighborhood. You try to mimic Daria's disaffected slouch. It's not hard. as you can just channel the you from about 60 seconds ago, who was very disaffected indeed. From the approving arch of Daria's eyebrow, you think you're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, parties are lame. Most parties are anyway. This one might be cool. Elwer's pretty cool. I mean, she seems alright. Okay, sudden triangle increase here. I don't think she's that cool. I just think her hair and clothes and personality don't completely suck is all. You tactfully don't comment on the green blush to Daria's cheeks when she's talking about Elwer, nor the way she keeps glancing at the door like she's hoping someone will invite her in. She's clearly trying to sneak into this party, and doesn't have an invite. Well, I have an invite. When a branch snaps in the bushes, Daria startles and looks around shiftily. You wonder if she's supposed to be out on her own this far from the cameras at all. I'm not a baby like Juan, she. So what have I snuck out? The cloister rules are so lame. Branya is so lame. How dare you? I can't believe Elwer used to hang out with her, but I guess if she hadn't befriended Branya, then I never would have met her. It's hard to meet non-Jade bloods in the caverns. All the time you're underground with nothing but Lucy and grubs and the same stupid Jades every day. It sucks down there. It seems like a lot of them don't seem to like living in the caverns. I guess it gets pretty boring. Daria's imitation grub horn bracelets clunk as she folds her arms over her chest. Her heavy makeup makes it look like her eyes are twin black holes, where all sense of fun and caring about things might go to die. She's giving you a marked contrast from how Branya talked about the caverns, with the peace and quiet and safety they offer compared to Alternian's surface. And other than that time Lenara nearly killed you in the cave, yeah, good times, right? And the time you were nearly trampled by a rampaging Lucis, you remember liking the caverns. Psh, you would think that. Don't know why I thought you might be cool. You might be friends with Elward, but you're also friends with Branya and Lenara. They're the two most boring trolls on this planet. Boring? Are you for real? Have you ever been almost murdered by Lenara? I think not. You can't help but feel slightly defensive of your friends. Sure, Lenara is Lenara, but you wouldn't call her boring, far from that. And Branya is very fond of rules, it's true, but she can hang. Whatever. This conversation is dumb. Oh, it was dumb, you dumb teen. I don't care if you can't get me into the party. Nothing matters anyway. Just make your stupid choice and get on with it. Oh, you meant that literally, huh? Stupid choice. Right, I see. Well, fine, I'll make the stupid choice and suggest she goes home. Thinking about the Jade Blood caverns has got you really missing them. The quiet monotony, the cute little grubs, the dank air and darkness. You can't think of a better place to lie down and have a depression nap, of course. Perhaps even a depression coma. What is happening? Seriously. So you straight up out of your slouch and tell Daria that regardless of her opinion on Branya and how cool or lame she is, those cloister rules probably exist for a reason, right? Maybe the two of you can both go back to the caverns together. Ugh. Fine, be a goody two-strut pot in casements. I'm gonna go somewhere where it's not so lame. She just freaking called me lame and then left. Oh, she is such a rebellious teen. Stop it. I feel like the responsible adult would tell her to go home, but I guess in this case we gotta impress our rebellious teen friends, so we're gonna party hard. And this music definitely makes one want to party hard. What the hell? It's not your job to keep anyone in line. And it's not like you have a great understanding of why even the older Jade Bloods need to stay underground anyway. If Daria wants to sneak into parties and get into trouble, who are you to say no? Daria expresses no pleasure at your decision to get her into the party, but I thought you wanted to go, what the hell? She just shrugs and rolls her eyes. Ugh, teens. You shrug and roll your eyes back. You can play the role of disaffected teen with the best of them. Of course I can, I am the best disaffected teen ever. You take her around to the front door. Hey, you're looking forward to seeing Elward again. When you met her, you didn't have nearly as many friends as you do now, and in retrospect, you know you came off as kind of psychophantic. Wouldn't it be great if you could introduce Elward to the new, popular, and knowledgeable you? Yes, Elward, please meet the new me. As you're walking up the steps, a huge shadow dwarfs yours. You look to see Chaja, of all trolls, grinning above you. Why are you here? Wow, forgot how huge you were. Well, hey, little one. I remember you. Not the day for clown church today, Chaja. And who is this new little one you've got with you? Somehow, she always manages to just seem very creepy, I don't even know. Chaja switches her interest from you to Daria, grinning down at her. Daria isn't huge for a J-blood or anything, but she seems absurdly tiny with Chaja looming down at her like that. Her face remains impassive and bored, but she scuffs one of her big black boots on the ground and twists one of her spiky bracelets around her wrist. Cute. Really crushing on someone you just met. Don't see many little jades outside the caverns. I've always found greenies fascinating. So devoted to the continuation of the species. Well, you're devoted to clowns, so I don't know what to say about either of you. What a holy mission. Chaja, okay. Oh, what just happened? Chaja moves slowly and lazily, like she has all the time in the world and no conceivable reason to rush, and reaches out to pat Daria's shoulder. She lets her hand linger, one claw resting against Daria's neck. What's going on here? Ain't it a dangerous proposition to be so far away from your green brothers and sister? Unless you're hiding something in those pretty veins. Okay, Chaja, being a little creepy here. How about back off a little bit? A slimy chill runs down your spine. Daria seems frozen to the spot, staring straight ahead at Chaja's bosom in front of her. You think Chaja is joking, but it can be hard to tell. With clowns, their humor is just so much more highbrow than everyone else's. There's that clown humor. Just joking. This looks like a good party, even if our word is too blasphemous for my taste sometimes. See both of you little ones inside. Wow, Chaja being real weird back there. And then she ambles away, bending out to duck inside the door to the party. You hear party sounds, music and laughter and clinking drinks, and what could be the sound of someone being murdered? Oh, you know, just a typical day at Alternia, which qualifies as party noise on this planet. There probably is literally someone being murdered inside. Then the door swings shut again, and you and Daria look at each other. Daria's heavy makeup can make it hard to read her expression, but you can still tell that she is rattled. I'm rattled, and I wasn't even the one being touched. You know what? It looks like this party is filled with lame conformers. Are you scared of Chaja? I mean, I understand, but all these high-bloods that buy into the system and do what they're told, even L-word? We can find something better to do somewhere else. You're totally scared. Yeah, to hell with this party. You're down to find your own fun, especially if that means not putting Daria in the way of potentially murder-happy clowns. I agree. As you saunter away from the party, you realize that Daria is looking at you expectantly. Well? You've got this reputation for being all unconventional and weird and rebellious. I think you heard wrong, I'm just weird. Everyone seems to think that you're totally fucking with the conventions of society or whatever. So you got any suggestions for cool shit to do? Yeah, you've sure felt a lot of pressure to be quirky since word has spread about your manic pixie dream alien wave. Dude, all these rumors, man, they're not real. It's not like you're trying to be a vehicle for other characters to project onto. Seems like a lot of fourth wall breaking if you ask me. Assisting in character growth and insight for those around you, while your impulse decisions and carefree ways somehow keep you yourself stagnant and forever in change. It just seems to sometimes be like that. It does be like that sometimes. Anyway, you're tired and it's daunting to have a punk teen expecting you to come up with suggestions for cool stuff. You have a feeling she's just gonna shoot down whatever you suggest. Probably is that rebellious teen angst, you know? You rack your brain trying to think of anywhere from your many adventures that Daria might like. Your ThinkPad comes up with zilch and squats, and she starts to look bored with you. She got bored real fast. Confessing that you can't think of anything is probably an option if you want Daria to be your friend. Really? And as exhausted and disillusioned as you feel with your socialite routine, you like her and you want to bond. Wait, if I confess I can't think of anything, she'll probably want to be my friend? Okay, so, well, I'm trying to get the bad endings first, so let's wander the streets like hoodlums. Here's the thing, your weirdest and best adventures have happened to you when you've decided to be spontaneous and just let shit happen. That is kind of true. Adventures and coolness are both hard things to plan. Also true. So what are you suggesting? That we just wander? Her derisive tone makes you hesitate, but well, yes, that's exactly what you're suggesting. Daria gives you a long, considering look. You hold your breath. Then she shrugs. Okay, whatever, sure. God, teen! Come up with something. She's just like, whatever. Not like everything better to do. Let's just go. Seriously? This is not gonna give me the better thing? What the hell, game? You're always twisting these things around. You meander through the well-maintained cerulean streets heading downtown. This seems like a good opportunity to get to know your new potential friend, so you start by asking her some fairly simple questions. Ugh. How am I? Gee, I don't know. I'm forbidden to leave the stupid caverns, and as a Jadeblood, all I have to look forward to is a life of being forbidden to do things. I guess I can see why you're a rebellious teen. How do you think I am? Okay, you should have walked that one back a little. It sounds like Daria is unsatisfied with the Jadeblood setup. That's one way to put it. You could also say that I'm unsatisfied with, like, the whole setup of my species. You've been here for a while now. Don't tell me you haven't noticed that every part of our society is transparent bullshit. Well, I'm glad you can see. Maybe you could join the rebellion. I mean, you're basically a rebellious teen anyway. You might be a member of the rebellion, right? As a rebellious teen. You glance around, because Daria is right. You've been around for a while, and that means you know enough to know that if the wrong people overheard this kind of talk, you both get cold on the spot. But everyone here seems distracted by their own nonsense. Cautiously, you concede that, yeah, you've noticed a certain bullshit aroma. Yep, it all stinks. No one has any kind of real future, except for the highest of the high bloods. And actually, I've heard that things pretty much suck for them too. Some may say that purple bloods are the most disprivileged class of them all. You're just going to continue to not comment on that one. Instead, you point out that being a Jade blood, Daria has a purpose beyond just growing up to become father in the Imperial Army, like you've heard other trolls mention. Surely that counts as a real future? Ugh, don't get me started. Suffice to say, I'm not exactly hype about the purpose that I supposedly have. More like the purpose that was arbitrarily assigned to me. But it's not like I have a choice. Rebelling in any sort of real way will put me in danger of a culling. Life here is pretty much just hopeless. Damn, you wish you had a good counter-argument? You want to give her some words of comfort, but what can you even say? Daria's right. Shit's grim. At least you're honest. Thanks for not bullshitting me. You know, Nera said you were good to talk to about real stuff. I guess she was right. That's... Huh? You're surprised that Linera is going around talking about you. Okay, I'm pretty sure she has like a weird crush on us now, so of course she's gonna go around talking about us. She probably talks about Branya every day. Saying positive things, even. But you're more surprised that Daria is bringing her up in a non-derisive context? You didn't know that Daria and Linera were close? I mean, they have nothing better to do in the caverns. They're probably just hanging out all day. Ugh, no, gross. I hate Linera. Well, awkward. And not in a romantic way. Thanks for clarifying that. Or, well... Anyway, never mind. Okay, what was that all about? Daria looks embarrassed and flustered and also pissed at you? At least you've got the subject away from how hopeless everything is, but still, you don't want this friendship to sour. As you're scanning your useless brain for a tactical subject change, you're saved by the footsteps of a new troll approaching. A new troll approaches. Oh, it's you! And as luck would have it, you know this troll. It's Tydeus. Hey, perfect, you guys can talk about rebellion stuff. Which makes sense because your meandering has taken you and Daria close to Tydeus? How did I say your name before? Tydeus? Yeah, probably. Tydeus' favorite book hive. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Never mind. I don't even need to ask. Really? You're obviously making friends with this Jade blood. Why does everyone know that I'm here to just make friends? It's kind of awkward at this point. Searching for some dumb shit to do, no doubt. Don't let me keep you. Stop it, you're making this very awkward. Don't make it so obvious. Tydeus looks just as exhausted as you remember. You don't want her to go just yet because it's been a while since you've seen her and you're always eager for an opportunity to catch up with a friend, especially one of the less murderous ones. Then you notice Daria eyeing Tydeus' mug of unidentified liquid. Don't worry, it's just water, okay? An idea occurs to you. You get excited, bouncing a little on the balls of your feet as you introduce Tydeus and Daria to each other. You explain to Tydeus with a meaningful look that you hope she'll interpret correctly that you and Daria were just conversing about the more unjust aspects of Alternian society. Yeah, exactly. And how hopeless everything seems to be. What do you mean? The more unjust aspects? Does Alternian society have aspects that are not unjust? I'm sweeps into studying our legal system, and I haven't found any. Wow, that sucks. Daria makes a muffled sound that could be a laugh. You make your meaningful look more meaningful. Doesn't Tydeus remember that conversation she had with you about justice and the shitty system? The importance of possibly futile work to try and improve things someday? Pissing? Tydeus squints at you, then takes a long slurp from her mug. Right. Yeah, I remember. You wave your hands around. Now we're talking. Tydeus is one of the few friends you've made that seem to not only notice that shit was fucked, but wanted to dedicate herself to unfucking the shit as much as she could. Of course, many of your dear friends try to make the world a little better in various clumsy, interpersonal, distinctively Alternian ways. You think of Trixie striving for her music even when it pits her against high bloods, the baffling but sweet ways that Kanayo and Azdaja and Gallic and Tagora care for each other, and Fazer's commitment to political... Wait, why did you think of that guy? He's a total show for the contest because some weird crap happened! Okay, Fazer was totally one of us. Anyway, Tydeus has a big picture mentality and a cause that she believes in, and the simple fact that she hasn't yet completely given up is inspiring. Daria is struggling with feelings of despair, so maybe Tydeus could talk to her about the work that she's been doing. What? No, I'm not struggling. It's whatever. Of course, everything is whatever. I don't even care. Daria kicks at the ground sulkily. Tydeus looks her over, her eyes lingering on the jade symbol on her shirt and her spiky black jewelry, then sighs. Sure, you don't care. I went through a phase of telling myself that too. Because you're a teen, she's an adult now, she's been through all that. I thought it would make it easier to deal. But nah. Tydeus pauses for another mug slurp, and you think she might be enjoying the opportunity to monologue a little bit? Daria huffs. The only thing that helped, and I'm not even sure that help is the right word for it, is finding something to work on in your own little corner. To try and make shit a little less... But there's nothing I can do in my corner. It's pointless to pretend otherwise. And that goes for everyone, like, this whole system is designed to help high blood stamp out dissent in every corner. One troll can't do anything against something like that, that's why we need rebellion, guys! An organization! Tydeus' eyebrow twitches as she stares at Daria, clearly peeved at being interrupted. Uh-oh, this could be going better. Well, no shit. What do you take me for? I'm not saying that all it takes is standing up and fighting for what's right or something stupid like that. That's obviously a surefire way to get called. Well then what are you saying? How can you even know whatever piddly little action you're taking will change anything? I can't tell you the future, dumbass. No one can give you a guarantee that any kind of action taken will be ultimately effective. You have to decide for yourself that it's worth it to try anyway. Why would you think it's worth it when everything around us confirms that nothing will ever change? I can't believe you're calling me a dumbass when that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Tydeus looks like she's about ready to throw the contents of her mug in Aria's face. Knowing trolls, she'd probably follow up with the mug itself. This is not the conversation you hoped for at all. You step in before things can get any more heated. You tell Tydeus that you're sorry and that you didn't flag her down just so that her ideas could get shit on. You turn to Daria, who is staring at both of you with a defiant look on her face and a stubborn set to her jaw. This kid. She's just so dead set on rebelling against anyone who tries to tell her anything with even the faintest whiff of authority. You really thought that maybe all the attitude could be channeled into something productive that would also help her feel better and possibly even give her a sense of purpose? You're not mad, just disappointed. Ugh. Don't give me that look, okay? I was just stating my opinion. But I guess I could have been less of a bone bulge about it. You're pleasantly surprised that Daria more or less apologized. Tydeus looks mollified too. This shit just makes me so angry. Angry and sad and helpless. Like I don't even know what to do with myself when I really have to think about it. Bingo, unfortunately. I feel the same way. I don't think there's any getting around the helplessness. But what I was trying to say is that working on something that might help fix things someday makes that feeling a little less powerful. So what you're saying is that it's just about making yourself feel better? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds bad. I believe I'm working on things that might affect change someday, even if I'm not around to see it. But also, yeah, most of the time it helps me sleep at night too. You can tell Daria is a bit disappointed by this, Like she doesn't trust that political rebellion can go hand in hand with making the rebels feel good about themselves. You point out that whether or not Tydeus feels good about her work doesn't make the work itself any less effective. Yeah, in the end, the universe doesn't care about how I feel. I'm just one troll trying to do the right thing. Or at least the okay thing. For his own sake, even if it might ultimately be futile. What the fuck else are we gonna do on this bitch of an Alternia? You've got me there too. I'm bored all the time and there really isn't anything cool to go down the caverns, or to do down the caverns. I guess during the downtime of my training I could, I don't know, help you out maybe? Oh, you just got yourself an apprentice. Not that I have anything to offer other than the book hive and the jade cloisters. Access to that might really help with my research actually. Give me your number and we can talk. Is it just your imagination? Or does Tydeus look a smidgen less tired? The bags under her eyes less baggy, and her back a little straighter. And you think the corners of Daria's lips might be very slightly quirked up. Daria turns her possibly a smile from Tydeus to you. This was cool, I guess. Or at least not so bad. At least she's not calling us lame. But I don't know if it counts as something cool. So I guess we could keep hanging out until more shit happens. You know Daria well enough by now to recognize this for the ringing endorsement that it is. You're about to happily agree when Tydeus pipes up. I'm just heading home from studying, but I'm not tired yet. If you want a third wheel to drag along. What? I don't regret like going on more adventures after this. 3-way friendship combo Bob victory. I mean, I guess it was really weird, you know, arguing conversation that kind of went into friendship. Yeah, I don't know. Was that like actually the good ending? I feel like all these endings are starting to be like a bit weird. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens if we choose this one. Don't know. What do you want to do? You tell Daria that you have no ideas for cool things to do because everything on this planet is lame. I took her lingo. But she's from here. Doesn't she know of any non-lame places to go? Ugh, I told you. I'm stuck underground all the time. Is that my fault that I'm literally sheltered and never get to do anything fun? Oops, maybe this was the wrong approach. Okay, I guess. She seems pissed at you. But then Daria sighs loudly and uncrosses her arm to her chest. I do know one place that's pretty alright, I guess. Okay, I guess it's gonna get us murder or something. Better than here anyway. It's far though. Not a problem. You've got wheels. I literally got wheels. I stole them and it's been mine ever since. You were walking around the neighborhood because, well, you felt lifeless and glum and your car needs alien fuel, which you've been reluctant to ask someone how to get. What? How long have you been driving without getting gas? Seems kind of ridiculous. You've been reluctant to ask someone how to get because you don't want to be told it runs on grub grease, something like that. Gross. But now you have purpose again, and you're more than willing to provide transportation and service of your new friendship goal. But we don't have money though. How do I get fuel? You take Daria to your car parked a few blocks away and she directs you where to go. Get gas? You drive through neighborhood after neighborhood, through the yellow blood slums where you met Felico and Cuprum, the busy urban sector where you had adventures with Zagora, and the austere indigo blood enclave where Gallic lives. With Goat Dad. Eventually buildings get sparse and you think about how you were yearning to drive out into the barren landscape and not die maybe, but stop? Just let it all end? Seriously, what is this weird depression that's just taking us over? You don't think Daria would take you all the way out here just for you both to meet sweet oblivion? But who knows? Shows can be kinda hard to predict. Just when you think you've reached a point where there can't be any more city or suburbs left, a row of massive old buildings comes into view. It looks almost like a miniature version of the main Alternian city that you're used to, except it's all abandoned and mostly ruined. Nothing around here looks inhabitable. Rumor has it that some of the trolls who live here pissed off the Condes, so she cold this whole town. Wow. That would have been way back in the day. It's ancient history now. If there were any survivors, I guess they'd be either dead or up in space. Anyway, all these old buildings are kinda sick. There's never anyone else here, and I'm into that. Okay. You drive until she tells you to stop in front of the huge crumbling building, and even though this thing is half gone, you can still tell it's a mall. Well, it's really an abandoned mall. It seems a bit different from the mall you visited with Palipa, even aside from the fact that it's totally dark and there's no one inside it. It seems more old-fashioned, a lot more like one of your familiar Earth malls. Every dystopian movie you've ever seen has taught you to be extremely wary of abandoned malls, and you feel pretty nervous as Daria takes you up the rickety frozen escalator. It's so dark you can barely see your hand in front of your face. You're trying not to show your fear because you don't want to look like a wuss in front of Daria, but you can't hold back a whimper when your foot lands on a step that makes a distinctive about to collapse noise. Don't be scared. It's okay. I climbed all over this place 1,000 times, and anything that isn't already disintegrated is sturdy enough. And there's no risk of calling out here because, well, everyone's already been called. Okay, is that supposed to be reassuring? She's gentler She's gentler towards you than you would have expected, given her cynical and spiky demeanor. You swallow your fear as you reach the top of the escalator and tell her that it's chill. You just have some horror movie associations. Daria turns and pats you stiffly in the arm. You would never tell her this, but her reassuring manner once she's noticed someone is in distress kinda reminds you of Rania. It's worth it when you get to the cool part. Come on. Shit continues to be dark for a while, though you see some light up ahead. As you get closer, the hall opens up into a food court, and you see that the light is moonlight shining through the mostly absent roof. And Daria was right. There is something extremely surreal and cool about a decrepit empty food court with the roof caved in. Rubble sits atop cafeteria tables and plastic food trays are scattered on the floor and... okay, that might be the remains of a troll skeleton, okay? Still wearing a mostly disintegrated fast food uniform? Wow, what the hell? Which is less cool and makes you remember that this place is abandoned because the Kandas sent drones here to murder everyone? You wanna know the weirdest thing about this mall? You mean besides the dead bodies here, right? It seems like actual adults used to maybe work here, and then they get murdered. I've gone through a lot of the stores and some of them are for adult-sized things. And there's a store just for like shit the drones bring you now. There's army supplies for going off-world too. If this mall was for adults, it must be really fucking ancient. Jeez, has it really been that long since there were any adults on this planet? Even after all your time on Alternia, that still kinda freaks you out. What must that be like, to grow up entirely without adults? To live on a planet that's nothing but kids? Daria gives you a weird look. What would it even be like to have adults down here too? That sounds way more dangerous and stupid. It's not like we're all wigglers. Trolls have to grow out of that mindset pretty fast. People have responsibilities or whatever the fuck. Or at least they pretend to. And there's training and stuff for Jades. We're basically trapped. Maybe you think that a planet of kids would mean you can do whatever you want, but I've never had any freedom. And I'll have even less as an adult. Cloistered Jades aren't even allowed to join the Imperial Army. Instead, we get shipped off to live in isolation. We're forbidden to contribute genetic material to the slurry, and no paling is allowed once we mature. For some, I don't know, bullshit old-fashioned reason that I pretty much don't understand was for the content as well, so... I don't turn yet, your whole future is decided the second you're hatched. People tell me all the time that I have it lucky as a Jade blood, but I don't feel lucky at all. Oof, yeah. You agree with Daria that the future she's described sounds bleak as hell. That's why we gotta rebel. Right? It's gonna fucking suck. And it's so shitty that I have it good. I mean, at least I don't have certain early death in my future unlike a lot of low bloods. The system is so fucked up, and it's never gonna change, and I hate it here. I just want a way out of it. Maybe when you go back to your home planet, you could take me with you? I mean, if that was an option, I feel like I would have left already. I don't know, have you seen my crashed spaceship? It's not looking good. The request comes out of left field, and for a few seconds you just blink at her stupidly. Even with all that angry black makeup around her eyes, she just looks so... sad. Sad and lost. You wish you had a different answer to give her, but you tell her that you can't take her back to your planet because you don't know how, when, or if you're ever going home. You've been trying not to contemplate the future because on the rare occasions that you do let yourself think about it, existential dread tends to take over. That's just what happened a couple minutes ago. Was getting some major depression there. Dread, yeah, that's the word for it. The older I get, the more I realize how shitty things are. I try not to think about it, just like you, but it still hits home sometimes, and when it does, I don't feel like angry or rebellious. Instead I feel completely fucking paralyzed. This too is a familiar emotion to you. You feel for Daria, who has wandered over to the middle of the food court and is staring up to the cave in at the moons. She has her arms wrapped around her middle, and the spiky jewelry and jagged haircut and big black boots don't do anything to make her look less small. You wish you knew what to say to make her feel better. You've done a decent job at cheering up dejected trolls in the past, but it's hard when you're feeling so crappy about your own situation. You mutter something about how things could still get better. You never know what the future holds, yada yada yada. And she looks at you like she knows just how hollow your words are. Ugh, you sound just like Branya. Next, are you gonna tell me how important J-Bloods are and what an honor all this responsibility is? Give me a break. Optimism is for chumps and losers. Keeping grubs safe doesn't matter. The continuation of our species doesn't matter. Nothing any of us do fucking matters. You hear blood getting hot to match the steel that's now in her voice. A sick part of you finds this train of thought a lot more viscerally satisfying than trying to cheer her up, which wasn't working anyway. You stare at your feet and so does she. I can't believe anyone bothers trying to carve out a real life in this worthless shit of a planet. There's no point. We might as well all be cold. In the back of your mind, you know you should maybe be disagreeing with some of this, but you're too worked up to care. Maybe Daria's right. Maybe nothing matters. What is happening here? Getting major existential crises. That's fucking right. Maybe I should just quit. Quit what? What do you mean? You falter in your righteous fury. Maybe quitting is going a bit far. Maybe the high bloods that go around causing death and destruction just because they can have the right idea. Whoa, going down a bad path, I feel like. This is starting to not sound so great. What doesn't sound great about it? Who cares if I decide I don't want to be a caretaker, and instead I just burn shit down for fun? There's no point to anything, so what does it matter? Who cares? Daria's hands are balled into fists, and her teeth are bared as she glares at you. You open your mouth, maybe to tell her that you care, even though that would probably sound trite, but no words come out. She scoffs and turns away from you, and jumps up on a crumbly-looking cafeteria table. You know what? Fuck this. Friendship is as pointless as everything else. Wow, this felt like a 180. She picks up one of the chairs, and you really need to stop being surprised at the strength of even the scrawniest looking trolls, and hurls it at the nearest fast food stall. Okay, I thought she was gonna murder me for a hot second. You thought it was just a random throw at first, but it appears that she was aiming with precision, because it crashes into a tank of fuel connected to the oven. Oh my god, she's trying to burn me to holy death. You're not sure how Alternian cooking technology works, but the stall explodes in a huge green tinged fireball that knocks you out of your ass. You watch in horror from your ass level vantage point as the flames lick into the restaurants on either side. Explosions happening around the food court like dominoes. Daria stands at her table in the middle of it, unmoving even as fire threatens to envelop her. This is probably the only place I actually like on this whole planet. So good riddance. If it's gone, one less thing I care about. With all the dust and debris, this mall is coming down fast around you. You desperately want to get Daria out of here, but you desperately want to save yourself more. And Daria doesn't look like she wants to be saved. Wow, seriously? You make a feeble attempt going over to her and trying to grab her around the waist to get her out of here, but she kicked you hard in the chest. Her steel-toed combat boots send you flying, and it's once again 0 days since you last broke your ribs. Please let my ribs heal. As used to this pain as you are, it still takes you a second of lying on the ground in agony before you can push yourself up to look back at the food court. A wall of fire now separates you from the tables inside. You can't even see Daria anymore. Your heart sinks. Maybe she'll come to her senses and pull herself up out of danger and escape through the caved-in roof. Maybe she'll get out some other way. You stumble to your feet, half thinking that maybe you can find water or a fire extinguisher in some part of this mall that isn't burning up. But smoke chokes your lungs, and in your panic, your human survival instincts take over. You dash down the escalator as mall infrastructure starts to crumble around you, and you don't want to abandon Daria, but it's all you can do to get your own sorry self out of there alive. Game over. Okay, hold on. Okay, so she is so depressed and angry. She just decides, like, screw this thing, I'm gonna destroy the one thing that makes me happy, and then probably get herself killed. Seriously, 180 from that other ending. Good. Holy god. But in any case, I guess I'll leave this video here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and then we will befriend what's their face again? Nikki Mula in the next video. So thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you all in the next video.